dog.
Oh, you mutt.
Finally.
Have a third one. What does that mean? Quality. MJ? Master Juggler? Um,
The Chamberlain mentioned you've seen demons at the castle.
You're damn right I did. What do you know about it?
Only that they're crawling out of fireplaces in the castle below the Maiden.
I'm sure at least half a dozen demons have taken up residence in the western courtyard. If the Chamberlain didn't tell you how dangerous this is for all of us, I'm telling you now.
Of course he told me. That's why we're trying to resolve this as quickly as possible.
I'm glad to hear it. Give those demons their due.
Tell me what you know then.
You know the guardhouse with the little arena? In the palace below the Crone, over by the outer wall? Inside, I mean, on the ground floor. The place stinks like hell. I've seen things there with my... I'd start the investigation there if I were you.
All right.
this is the shit house, is it not? There was something there. Yeah. Okay.
Privies for the soldiers, but not a demon in sight. So, how did you end up at Trotsky?
Sir Otto hired me in Prague as his bodyguard and a swordmaster for the local castle garrison. I reckon he sensed he was in danger, and he was right. A band of scoundrels was lying in wait for us on the road, and they nearly got us.
How was your company ambushed? What happened exactly?
It was well planned, I must admit. They nearly got us.
What went wrong for them?
Hard to say. Maybe we were just lucky, and God was watching over us.
That's all there was to it?
If you really want to know what I think, the idiots lacked discipline. They rushed it.
What do you mean?
It might have come down to a single fool's mistake. I don't know. But if they just waited a bit longer, we wouldn't have stood a chance. Like I say,
Why do they call you Black Bartosz?
It's just a nickname, of course, because of my, black hair. Every swordsman has
Okay,
an ink,
so obviously that's
you know?
not correct.
Once you win a few tournaments, they give you one.
So you're really a highborn knight?
Indeed. I'm Bartoszek of Drahonitz. My father served Emperor Charles his entire life.
Oh, sorry. I suppose I should call you sir.
No, there's no need for formalities. Titles are worthless. A man should earn a name for himself. It's not enough to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth.
You must have been honoured when the Royal Chamberlain chose you as his bodyguard. How did you meet?
That's simple. I was serving in the garrison in Prague's royal castle, where von Burgo was a frequent guest.
I see. But what brought you to his attention? You have good connections, I suppose.
Depends what you mean. I'd recently won 2 big tournaments, so I was invited to a splendid banquet. It was there Sir Otto offered me a position at his castle. I'd heard of Trotsky, of course, but I was still astonished when I saw it with my own eyes. Sir Otto spared no expense to build a truly mighty fortress.
Sorry, but we're about the same age, and I'd never have guessed you're a swordmaster.
We each have our own path, it seems. I even studied at university, while I could still afford it.
What? You're a man of letters as well?
I wouldn't go that far. I dabble in poetry a bit, that's all. I may come from a noble family, but we're not renowned or rich, and studying costs a fortune, and I didn't have one, so I had to do what I do best.
You became a mercenary.
That's right. I spent more time fighting.
Where did you learn to fight, Bartosz?
I've dedicated the last 5 years of my life to it. I travelled a lot and was taught by several masters.
I'd like to see the world too, but I haven't even made it to Prague yet.
Well, I haven't been all that far either. But unless you learn from true masters, you'll never become a master yourself. Fortunately, these days there are plenty of swordsmen in Prague who will train you for coin.
I hope to make it to our royal city someday soon.
If you do, go and see Master Lamprecht and give him my regards. He's a man of honor and a peerless master of the longsword.
How are we getting to...
I'd like to learn a
Prague.
new...
Why not? I like a longsword, but there's not much room for it in the heat of battle, where brute force will... Such a hit with the pommel of a sword. Would you like me to show...
I'd like to...
Why? I can show... It's not that noble a weapon. Gladly you start if you do. Now come and try.
Good. Good to see you.
Ah, you must have been wrong about those demons. The place you described to me was just a shitter.
You're right. My bad. I realised as soon as you left.
So where should I start looking for those demons?
I was actually going to send you to the palace below the Maiden Tower. It's upstairs, near Lord von Burgos and the Burgrave's chambers. I hear a mysterious door appears. It must be the dead.
All right. I'm sorry. What kind of tasks do you do for Lord von Burgov?
Rare ones, lad. His lordship spends little time at Trotsky. As the royal chamberlain, he has to be in Prague most of the time.
Why does Sir Otto have to be in Prague so often?
Because that's the seat of the royal court, and our lord is one of the highest royal officials. Praga caput regni, young man. Prague is the heart of the kingdom. All the political threads come together there. It's where they handle administration of the country. If you want to be somebody, more to Moravia, to that traitor.
What is the royal...
I understand, lad.
Yeah, exactly.
Sir Otto von Burgo is the royal chamberlain, subcamerarius in Latin. He's one of the 9 most powerful officials in the kingdom. He manages the royal towns and monasteries, approves the councillors and abbots in them, and appoints the royal judges.
Excuse me, but...
And what else should I call a person who only looks out for any chance to benefit himself?
But now he's fighting for...
Jobst has changed sides so often it's impossible to keep track. But Wenceslas wasn't even able to hold on to the imperial crown. Yes, indeed. One he might even become...
Why doesn't Lord von Burgov free our King Wenceslas from captivity in Vienna?
It's politics.
I understand. Why did they take our king captive?
That's complicated. Back during the... And when young Wenceslas came to the... That's why he surrounded himself...
I reckon the High...
You're damn right they didn't. That started a protracted war, but King Wenceslas was stubborn. He preferred to run away. It was only a matter of time before the lords... A year ago, they got together and captured Wenceslas. They secretly took the king to Vienna.
So von Burgov...
Not at all. Soon they discovered they'd miscalculated. I think that's why Lord von Berkoff...
Who are among...
Who do you think? The most powerful are Henry of Rosenberg.
But we serve Sahan...
Exactly. They're representatives of the lower... On the contrary, boy. It's only...
I hear there...
Again, is anyone sprinkling yet?
Oh,
That's the only thing that works.
what do you think of all that?
Occasionally, I hear the servants telling stories, even Gregory the Great, Gregory the Devil, as the... How do you imagine?
Like a hairy terror with hooves, horns, and big nasty teeth.
Like something out of the Codex Gigas. Anything else?
I'd like to...
What is this about?
I heard some interesting books from Prague have arrived at the castle. There's one I'd like to borrow. An alchemist's cookbook. A sand-coloured cover, embossed.
Yes, several rare and astonishing books have arrived from Prague. But why are you interested in an alchemist's cookbook, of all things?
So I was wondering...
You didn't answer me. Books first have to be examined and sorted.
And where did you sort that alchemist cookbook?
Well, I'll have to disappoint you. Lord Nickvard Libak helped me sort the new books at the time, and the one you're looking for caught his attention. He left with it before I could even discover what it's about. All I remember is the author's initials, B.B. I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, and I appreciate Nickvard's help, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount of time now. I'd like to ask him to return it, but he's been avoiding me.
I'll have a talk with Nick Vard and find out what the problem is.
You think I haven't tried? But it seems Nick Vard lost the book. I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around with him, but to leave them in his chamber and read them there. But Nick Vard is old and stubborn, and this is how things turn out.
The price of such a book must...
But as I said, I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently. Bertha, the cook, Regina, the maid, and Hirsch, the hand.
For a nobleman, Nick Vard...
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken to anyone. Nick Vard is a loner, now that he's decided to leave his But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out.
I'll help you.
Many thanks.
Before I go...
Who, exactly?
That's everything.
I'm sorry.
Any idea what the... You can't be here.
All right. You caught me. I surrender.
I thought I
You
could go
can't
anywhere.
say you weren't. You'll pay up.
All right.
Now,
All right.
All right, then. In that case...
This is. I thought it could just go everywhere.
9.
What was that murmur?
Anyway.
Good to see you.
God be with you.
Demon droppings. Looks like charcoal.
The Chamberlain said you know something about the demons haunting the castle.
Of course I do. But I don't know what to think anymore. I keep finding hair in my food. Someone hides my spices. My soup goes sour. And there's that awful smell.
Well, maybe it's just a stray dog or a cat. What would demons want here anyway?
The more I think about it, the more I think it really is demons.
Okay.
A dog can't make your soup go sour. And besides, sometimes you hear this strange whispering around here.
Where should I start looking?
They must be coming from the other side of the castle. Under the crone.
Bertha told me the demons are likely to be coming from here, under the Maiden.
Oh, of course she did. They've been messing with her head. That old crone's
It
under
is
their
so
spell.
typical.
I always
It's
knew
a
it.
bit like
Let me guess. I'm going to have to go around fireplaces and sprinkle 9 drops of
the
water on them.
villages from
9?
Is it Life of Brian? I
Why
think it
9?
is.
But you're mostly right. You have to douse the ground in front of the fireplace they're coming from. That creates a boundary demons can't cross.
Right.
All right. Where can I find the fireplaces?
That's hard to describe. Anyway, there are 5 such fires.
Oh my
Together
God.
they form the shape.
Don't worry. Hopefully I won't...
If I were you, I'd do it during the night.
The devil...
And the old hag rushes in. The sooner you get rid of them. See you soon, my friend.
Let's get the same thing. Have to do the same thing.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
5 fireplaces. Found 1. This is 1.
Don't show yourself here again.
Is this how they clean floors around here now?
What the fuck is this?
Do you know where I can find Nickvard? The scribe said you might know.
Erazim is suddenly interested in Nickvard and me. You don't say. But when I need him to read something for me, he never has the time. I'm sorry.
I was asking about Nickvard.
Aye, I heard you. Say, can you read?
Yes.
I can.
In that case, would you mind reading this message I have from Nickvard?
Show me. Dear Mistress of the Chambers. What is it?
Oh, what I wouldn't give to get messages from someone else. Say, Lord Capon. Ah, never mind. Read on. Though I reckon it interests you more than me.
Persevere. We shall soon escape the dungeon of those two women. Cursed fate, however, has placed an obstacle in my way. The heat of the Lightbringer's potion is working, and I can feel my insides being reborn.
What?
But when the last remnants of old age left my body, something else was washed away with them.
How much longer is it?
Not much. My damn clumsiness has sent all of the Lightbringer's secrets into the void, but fear not, I shall get them back. May this be the first task on the road to your liberation. That's it.
Beautiful.
Weird.
That was complete nonsense. I was embarrassed to read it.
Imagine how I felt having to listen to it.
But what does it mean? Can you explain any of it to me?
Lord Liebach has taken a liking to me. I suggested to him it wasn't proper for a noble to have an affair with a maid. But he thought I meant he was too old for me. But then he found what he calls the Lightbringer's potion book. He said it would light a flame in him that would burn out all that's old. So I suppose it worked. Hooray!
I know the book he's talking about, but what does he mean, into the void?
Look, can we stop talking about this? I feel a little uncomfortable here talking about some old lovelorn nobleman.
Especially
I need help.
Dead?
You can give it some thought, can't you?
No!
Okay. And this is a fucking maze.
I hope I'm doing this right.
I apologize.
That should do it. I hope I'm doing this right.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
It's not there. Let's just check in case. It looks so cool.
Greetings.
How long have you been here in Trotsky, Father?
Well, it's been quite a few years. But if you are interested in local history,
How do things work in the castle?
You mean who runs things when our lord is away?
Yeah, I see there's a lot of people here, so I wouldn't want to offend anyone.
Then you should watch out especially for Lady Yitka. She's the wife of our Burgrave Hashek. She's a pious woman, but also damned firm and strict on the Her husband is in charge of the castle garrison and order in the region. Then Captain Thomas is responsible for Sir Otto's security. He's an old soldier and an upright fellow, even if he doesn't come to confession more than once a year. And the ruler of the roost here is the Chamberlain, Ulrich von Schaumburg. You seriously don't want to cross him, lad?
I noticed there's no church in Troskowitz, or anywhere nearby.
Yeah.
Why's that?
It's true. You'll find the closest one in Uyezd or in Mladiev on the other side. In Trotsky, we only have the chapel in the castle tower. In short, this domain is the middle of nowhere.
What is Sir Otto von Berghoff like?
What can I tell you? Lord von Berghoff provides a livelihood for many people. He brought money to the region, restored and expanded the castle, and yet he spends most of his time in Prague. He's the royal chamberlain, and politics takes up a lot of his time.
I understand.
That's not what I said. The old chamberlain, Ulrich...
But
numbers and accounts aren't everything. But that young man...
I'd like to...
What do you...
I heard the cast. Did they bother you?
They did a few days ago. I was in the chapel. Fuck me. Swear an oath of allegiance.
My God. What did you say to it?
I laughed in the face of the Prince of Darkness. Would you not rather renounce your slavery and return to heaven? I told him. Without hesitation, he replied, better to rule hell than to be a slave in heaven. And then he disappeared, veiled in a terrible, foul-smelling smoke.
Whew. That sounds horrifying. But anyway, I don't think pouring. Maybe the locals should start drinking.
It is clear the Tempter has been whispering. Finish quickly what has been asked, otherwise this place...
Of course, that was a stupid idea.
Excuse me.
I apologize.
Good to see you.
What was that shrieking?
Never mind.
So not like to go in there. Thought I could go anywhere.
I apologize. What's that I hear? So, it's you.
Same thing with that.
Back to hell with you.
Now that looks interesting. Look. Something's in the air. There's fucking mice. Okay.
Back to hell with you.
So there's probably one in the kitchen, so there should be one more up top, I assume. Unless... And that is so high. Cool. The problem is I don't know whose room is whose.
That should do it.